It will be made available. You will be able to access sometime in the afternoon. Thanks for attending the session on how to automate your strategies using Algomojo. My name is Lokesh. I am part of Algomojo team and welcoming you all for the session. Request you to kindly make this as interactive as possible. Uh, Please use the chat box to raise any queries. If you would like to have look at something specific in either TradingView or in Algomojo or in Amibroker, kindly let me know. I will try and show those during this demo. Yeah, we will start with a small presentation and then get into looking at Algomojo platform, and we'll also look at how do we do automation using say TradingView charts. In case you would like to look at um, any specific strategy or any specific thing in TradingView, let me know. I'll use those charts, I'll use those strategies or indicators and see how we can do the automation. See, for signal generation, it is completely flexible. You can use either TradingView or Amibroker. If you are using Amibroker and you're comfortable with that, you can send your signals or run your strategies in Amibroker. And whenever there's a signal to enter or exit the trade, those signals will be picked up by Algomojo or it will be sent across to Algomojo for execution of orders in your respective brokers. Or if you're using TradingView and running any strategy, any study, or any indicator in TradingView, and you are generating signals to enter or exit trades, that's possible to automate. Yeah, we will look at some samples in TradingView today. In case if anybody would like to have a look at specifically Amibroker, let me know. One moment. Yeah, in case if you would like to look at anything specific, any strategy or study or indicator in TradingView, let me know. I'll use that for the demo today. Yeah, TradingView comes with a lot of indicators and strategies. You can depends on you if you have done your back testing and you would like to take trades based on the strategies or indicators. It's possible to generate those signals and automate those signals also for placing orders. Either you can place orders in equities, you can place orders in options, we can place orders in say futures, index or stocks, any of those instruments that you're trying to trade. Now, small disclaimer, we are not a tip provider. We act like a bridge between your chart and your broker. If your chart is generating a signal to we will pick up that signal and place orders in your account. So we don't provide any strategies, we don't provide any recommendations, we're not an advisory service. So if you're looking at when to enter, when to exit a trade, or what to buy, when to buy, uh, we don't offer those kind of services. It is dependent on your charts, your studies, and your strategies, which would signal entry and exits as such. Not very sure how Open Algo operates. We are an independent platform. Like we act like a bridge between your chart and your broker. So let me start with the presentation. The agenda for today is we will look at what are the key features and facilities that are available in Algomojo platform. And then we will look at how to do integration using TradingView as a charting tool. Now, in case if anybody is looking or wanting to look at Amibroker and how to do the integration with Amibroker, kind of platform. We can look at that also in case if you are interested. We'll spend a bit of time in terms of understanding the Algomojo support structure. As I was mentioning, kindly raise your queries. Try and keep this as interactive as possible. Ask as many queries that you would have in terms of the platform, in terms of how to use it, how to do the integration in TradingView. If you have any specific studies, how to integrate with those studies, do let me know. I will try and show it during this demo today. Now, we are a web-based platform. You using any browser, you can now use our platforms for execution of the signals into broker account. You can place orders from your chart into your broker account using Algomojo as a bridge. We don't have any app. Using any browser, you can log in and then use all our facilities. Now, we have integrated with some of the popular tools like TradingView, Amibroker, MT4, charting kind of environments. So if you have any, if you are using any of these, you can definitely automate those signals or automate those states that you would be generating from your charts. Now, we support multiple brokers. Close to about 30, 33 brokers have been integrated so far. I'll share a list of all the brokers that we have done the integration, API integration. So if you have an account with any of these brokers, you can start using our platform immediately. For all users, we provide a 7-day trial. Once you're comfortable in terms of the features and facilities and the way the platform is functioning, if it is meeting your requirements, you can take up the subscription for continued usage of Algomojo. Yeah, we provide all execution codes or modules that are required for automation. We have tried to keep this platform as user friendly as possible. You need not have to have any kind of coding or programming knowledge because we would not be looking at any of the codes for automation purpose at all. It is a simple activity of copy pasting certain modules or certain codes into your charts, and that's it. You're ready with the automation process, and whenever there's a signal coming in, it will be transmitted to your brokers. Now, some of the key features would include things like as a trader or an investor, you have the complete flexibility to choose what is that you want to trade, right? You can decide to trade in equities, or you can trade in futures, or you can trade in options. Kindly note, our platform as of now supports only the Indian markets, the NSE, BSE, and MCX. We don't support as of now the crypto or the forex kind of markets. Otherwise, all the exchanges associated with the Indian markets are available for investment and trading purpose in our platform. Now, in case you are a trader or you trade in options, then you can decide to trade in ATM, ITM, or OTM. You have flexibility to choose up to 20 strikes in the money and 20 strikes out of the money s- uh, for any of the options. It could be the indices options, or it could be stock options. You get up to 20 strikes for selection. Now, it not only supports buying of options, if you want to write options, that's also possible. So, whenever there's a signal coming in and you would like to write a, say, ITM option or an OTM option, you can do that using a platform. Yeah, we are working on cryptos. It could take a bit of time. Not, I wouldn't like to put any time frame as of now. It's slightly far away. Not, I don't think it is. We will be ready in the next 2 quarters at least. I don't think so. So whenever we are ready, we will be able to. You will be able to trade in forex or cryptos. There is some work going on, but we are waiting for certain clarifications, regulatory issues, and those kind of things. So once that is, we have a clear picture, we will be able to support those kind of instruments too. Then, in case if you are trading in large quantities, we will take care of the order splitting, and we will place multiple orders to fulfill your complete quantity that you would like to trade. In case if it is beyond the freeze limits set by the exchanges. Now, when it comes to risk management, you can set targets or stop loss, or you can trail your stops also. And again, targets and stop loss, these you can do it not only in terms of points, you can do it in terms of percentage also, or even based on MTM. Suppose you are looking at a certain MTM for the day. Once that target is met in terms of your MTM, or there's a loss that you would like to stop at, so we will monitor those trades that you would have taken. And in case the target is met in terms of MTM, or stop loss is met in terms of MTM or percentage or points, the positions will get closed. See, our platform, as I was mentioning, we are just a bridge between your signal and your broker account. We pick up those signals and pass it on to your broker for order executions. So you're not running any strategies in our platform. It is you are running it in your own systems, which could be in TradingView, or it could be in Amibroker or charting, any of those places. So we don't know what is that you're running. It could be super trend, it could be some other strategy, it could be something proprietary. We don't have any visibility to that. So you can safely assume that whatever you're trying to trade, whatever strategies that you're running, Algomojo will not have any visibility. We just look at the signals from your charting tools, whether to enter or exit a trade. So we pick up that and place orders. We are just a bridge. So there's nothing that you are running in terms of your strategy or your ideas or your thought process in our platform. That is completely in your control. It can be in your system itself if you're running Amibroker, or it could be in TradingView, or it could be in charting, any of these places. So you can be assured that we, as a platform, will not be in a position to understand or read your strategies and say misuse that kind of stuff. No, it can never happen because we don't have visibility at all. So that way, it is pretty safe. And when it comes to reliability, since Algomojo acts just like a bridge between two platforms, your charting platform and your broker platform, the kind of processing that we need to do in our platform is very, very limited. All we need to do is read the signal, understand what is that you're trying to trade, whether it is stock or index or option, whether you're trying to buy or sell, or what is the quantity. We send those, pick up those details and send it to the broker for execution. So in terms, you will find that in terms of reliability, in terms of accuracy, in terms of the speed of executions, Algomojo is much, much better compared to any kind of platform. And because there is no overhead that we add in terms of processing of your signals or running your strategies or running your studies. Those things don't happen in our platform as such. So yeah, we expect the new release to happen pretty shortly. Couple of weeks, I would say, 2 or 3 weeks max. We're almost ready with the testing done. So we'll have a lot of advanced features. We do keep taking feedbacks from the users in terms of the feature requirements, in terms of their trading styles, trading methods, and look at tools which could be useful to them. We try and get those details and then provide that as an additional facility in our platform to help investors and traders to be profitable in the markets as such. Yeah, also in terms of processing, we are in the we have initiated the ISO kind of standardization. The certification process is underway, so we would have those kind of certifications also done. So we have been in the industry for almost 7 8 years now, and we understand the requirements of the industry and the users and the clients, and we have built so far a pretty robust system. And our method of growing business is through word of mouth, I would say. You will not see many advertisements or any kind of promotional activities that we do, because we expect our users to be our to be happy, and when they are happy, they do give us business and also get us business as such. So our belief system is in terms of building robust platforms, and be as flexible and as open to clients' requirements and ideas, and see how we can add value to the requirements of the users and traders. Kindly keep your questions coming in, so I'll try and answer them as we go along. So also, again, coming back to the presentation, you can set the time when you want to trade. There are traders, or traders basically, who would like to take only the trades in the morning session, or the first 1 hour or 1.5 hours, when the volatility are pretty high, so they would like to capitalize on that. And after that, if they don't want to trade, they can set the time in a system, saying that I don't want to trade any trades after 10:30 or 11 o'clock, and then any new signals coming in beyond that time will not be processed. Or if you're an investor or a trader who would not like to uh, initiate any trades in the morning session or towards the end of the session, then you can set the timings as per that. So based on the kind of time frame that you have set, the signals coming in from your charting tools will be processed, and if it falls within that time frame that you're looking at, the signals will get processed, and orders will be sent to your brokers for executions. Yeah, see, when you are running an Amibroker from on a cloud, on a server as such, so uh, it is always on. The requirement, or people, why they use cloud is that because it is yeah, because of the high availability in terms of the connectivity, in terms of speed, in terms of uh, data transmissions. So even if you have not logged in to your server, but you have hosted it in the server, and the ME broker is running, and the data feed is running, and your strategy is running, it can continue doing it as long as you stop it, as long as you don't stop those things in the cloud. So you need not have to log into your remote server every day. You can start it and just leave it at that. Of course, in case, we would always recommend that kindly keep monitoring the AMI broker and data feed. There are, however robust you might feel that the servers could be, but idea is to ensure that nothing fails, right? So there could be issues in terms of your data feed or AMI broker stability as various factors could influence the effective running in a server as such. But compared to your laptop or your desktop kind of operation, the availability or it is much better to run Amibroker and those kind of things from a server. Yes, and in case if you want to monitor how the ME broker is running, or data feed is running, or your strategy is running, you can always log into your server from any method, from your mobile device, or from your desktop, or from any other device which could give access to your server as such. That's right. When you are running multiple accounts, you do the initial setup as to what is the quantity, what is the instrument that you're trying to trade, those kind of things. After that, it is every day just log into Algomojo and switch on those strategies, which you can do from any device. It need not be from the server itself. It can be from your mobile device if you're traveling, or if you're not in front of your computer, you can just log in from your mobile device and just log in or start those strategies that you would have created in Algomojo, unless and until you want to change something like the quantity, if you want to increase or decrease for each of the child accounts. Only then you will need to modify. Otherwise, most of it would be a one-time setup that needs to be done both in Algomojo and in TradingView or in Amibroker. Yeah, we do have some presence in YouTube also. Yes, yes. Um we are not like as I was mentioning. We have a good clientele as such who are using our systems, and we do have some plans to get into more uh, methods of acquiring new clients. But as of now, yes, limited to the word of mouth kind of advertisements, I would say. Yes. For people to get to know about our platform and the features and facilities, we have posted some in YouTube too. Yes, what we are also trying to do is we do interact with brokers and try and address their communities, their clients, and do a similar kind of session for their clients for each of these brokers. So people get to know that the kind of facilities that we extend for automation purposes as such. Yes, that is another area that we're working on. Plus, we have with some of the popular. We are trying to establish relationship with some of the strategy providers, some of the CFTs who are into advisory services. It takes a long time because we have to be sure that we engage with the right kind of companies or the individuals who would value add to their clients and not be misled by anybody and everybody as such. So we are very, very cautious in terms of selecting our partners or with whom we partner for offering our services. We are also working on enhancing a platform where the advisory service providers can host their strategies and host their trades in our platform, which can be replicated in case if somebody is interested into their accounts also. So we are building those kind of requirements too. And going forward, you will find quite a lot of advisory services providers associated with us and offering their services too. Um, See, when you are trying to use Algomojo for placement of orders, you will need to use our APIs. If it is, if you're using a different platform, then depending on what their requirement, you might need to update the APIs provided by them or follow the process that they define or they would have mentioned as such. I'm not very clear if I understood your query. It says that if you have two systems from where trades are fired in the same account, one a third party and one from Algomojo, then do we need to choose the broker with multiple API or a single API will do? See, let me take an example and try and explain it to you. Suppose you have an account with Zerodha and Zerodha, they have made their APIs free of cost, and when you're trying to trade with using Algomojo platform, you will need to create a app in Zerodha for Algomojo purpose, and then any orders that you're placing through Algomojo will be processed and it will be taken up by Zerodha. Now, suppose you have a third party from where you are placing an order again on Zerodha, then I think you will need to create another app in Zerodha, and so that it will take those signals from the third party and place orders into the same account. So you would have one account, but you will have multiple apps created for each of the service provider. One could be Algomojo, it could be any other provider, it could be multiple of them. So for each service provider like Algomojo or a third party, you can create an app and you can place orders into a single account. That's possible. Our services would be stable, and your stop loss targets are all taken care of. Yes. Yes, our team can definitely help in terms of the initial setup. It's a pretty simple process. We will go through that just in a while. You will understand what are the steps involved, and once you do it a couple of times, you will find it pretty easy, and you will be able to do it on your own. And in case if you need any assistance, we are there to support you. We are there to help you out. Yes. Yeah. So as long as the API connectivity is stable and services are stable from broker side, we will be able to manage your targets, stop losses, and trailing stop losses as such. Yes. Coming back to to the presentation, see, all users are provided with a facility for paper trading. Now, it is we provide up to six paper trading facility. Six strategies can be tested on paper trade, and the idea of providing paper trade is to help users to get used to the process of automation using Algomojo. So instead of placing live orders, and in case things go wrong, we don't want you to incur any loss. So that's why we have provided this paper trading facility. We always recommend that try out the paper trade first, and once you're sure that the orders are getting executed as per your requirements, as per your strategies, as per the signals generated from whatever charting tool you are using, once you see those things happening in correctly or properly in paper trade, then switch over to live trade as such. So always start with the paper trade, run it for a couple of cycles, and ensure that orders are the Algomojo platform is meeting your requirements in terms of executions, in terms of orders, in terms of the speed or the accuracy as such. And once you're able to see these, you can definitely switch over to live. Yeah, how to do paper trade? We'll have a look at that also. So again, paper trade is a facility where it is meant for testing the process of Algomojo and your strategies and your orders getting placed. It is not a recommended tool to be used for, say, back testing or forward testing kind of environment or requirements as such. So it is not a back testing tool, definitely. For forward testing, also we would say that test it out for a couple of trades, 5, 10 trades, and see if things are flowing as per the your expectations, and then move on to the live trades as such. Yeah, we will have the in the new version coming in, we will have the facility to download historical data in terms of it could be paper trade, it could be live trade. Currently, you will need to download those reports on a daily basis, but going forward, you will have a facility wherein you can download it for the week or the month, kind of thing. So, in the new version, you should have that facility enabled. Telegram, as of now, is giving you details of the order getting executed. It is not giving you details in terms of what price it is getting done. Good feedback. We will update our development team to include some more details into Telegram notifications, which could help the traders and investors as such. In case if you're trading in futures or options, you would like to carry forward them or want to roll over them, our system can help you to do the rollover automatically. There are facilities like things like Sure, sure. There are facilities like you can set the number of trades that you want to do in a day. Now, there are people who would like to say take only 5 trades in a day or 3 trades in a day. You can set that as a parameter in our platform itself, so that if the signals coming in are more than that, then those signals will be ignored and the orders will not be placed. Suppose you say that you want to do 5 trades only, so we will look at executing only 5 trades based, and if there is any signal coming in after that, it will be ignored. Yeah, in case if you are an options trader, then you have the flexibility to execute multiple orders based on a single signal. Yeah, you can define all the legs of your options and group them together. And based on a single signal, if there are multiple legs in your option strategy, all of them can get executed in the order or in the sequence that you want. Right. Now, if you have facilities, if you have facilities like you want to buy an option and then sell an option or write an option so that you get that margin facility, margin benefit, you can do that. So you can, the buying of option will happen first and then the writing of the option. And while exiting, the option which has been written can be closed first, and then option which was bought can get closed after that, so that you get the margin benefit as such. Now, in terms of number of signals that you can trade, it can be anything. I just mentioned a figure of 5. It could be 10, 20, anything. Or if you just want to take just 2 trades, that's also possible. Or if you want to take any number of trades or all the trades that are coming in from your chart, that's also possible. Yes, you can take trades not only from your charts, you can do it from manually also from the platform itself. Let's look at one of some samples of how to do that. Yeah, the segments that you can trade would include things like cash segment. It can be for intraday or for delivery. You can trade in futures. It could be NSE, BSE, commodities. You can trade in options, which can be dynamic or it can be static also. You have facility to trade in options with all the instruments that are currently available in the Indian market. When it comes to brokers, we have integrated close to about 33 brokers as of today. We keep adding to this list. The latest has been Zeroda. So if you have an account with any of these brokers, you can start using our platform immediately. Now, there's a special offer in case if you open an account with any of these seven brokers, you will get a facility to use Algomojo free of cost for your life. So request you to kindly make use of this facility and avail the APIs free of cost from Algomojo free for lifetime as such. Now, when it comes to automation, it happens in two parts. First part is what is that you need to set in Algomojo, and second part is how to do the integration in either TradingView or Amibroker or your charting kind of places. Now, for today's demo, we'll be looking at some studies in TradingView. Now, in case if anybody would like to look at, say, Amibroker, let me know. I can try and show that also. Yes. Yeah. Now, before getting into the integration with TradingView, let's look at the platform. So this is our website, algomojo.com. Now, to open a new account and avail the free APIs from Algomojo, please use this tab called Open Account. After you give the name, email ID, and the telephone number details, you can select with which broker you would like to open the new account. So it will take you to the respective broker web page, and you will need to complete the account opening process. Post that, you'll get your client credentials in terms of password and the ID, etc. So using those same details, you'll be able to use our platform also. For login or start using our platform, kindly use this button called login. In case you already have an account with any of those brokers which I showed, you can immediately start using it by logging in from this place. For today's demo, we will be using Trade Genie as an account as a broker. So you will need to use the same credentials, whatever your broker has given in terms of your user ID, password, TOTP. Same process needs to be followed. You need not have to create a separate process for Algomojo. We will honor whatever your broker has given for logging in. Let me log into this account. Yeah, once you log in, the user interface is the same for all the brokers. So you'll get to see the dashboard, and which gives you facilities like to look at what are the kind of funds you have, what are the holdings, etc. You can create watch lists. Up to 5 watch lists can be created, and you can place orders from here itself. Suppose you want to buy something like Reliance, you can do that from here itself. So a platform will offer a facility for you to manage all your day-to-day requirements in terms of trading or investing from one place. And things like funds or say withdrawing funds or getting any of your back end reports, you will need to go to your respective broker account or broker back office and do those activities. Otherwise, for your day-to-day order placements, one login with Algomojo can take care of the complete requirements. So you want to buy Reliance, you can do it from here, or any stock from the watch list. So after you log in, first thing you will need to look at is get Algomojo's API. So that you can do it from here. If you look at, there are various tabs on the left side. The first tab is My API. When you are doing it for the first time, it will ask you to generate the API. And then once you click on generate API, you will get the details in terms of your broker client ID, the API and API secret. These are Algomojo provided API and API secret, and not the broker provided. This is specific to Algomojo platform. It will also indicate how many days it is valid for. So if you open a new account with any of those seven brokers, you will get almost 9,000 odd days of free usage of Algomojo. So first step is generate the API of Algomojo, and then we can get into the process of setting up Algomojo for trading. Now, after you've done this, go to a tab called My Strategies, and when you're doing it for the first time, it will be completely blank. You just use this button called New Strategy. So this is where we define what is that we want to trade or invest into. So it's a one-time setup again. I'm saying once you do these definitions here or update the details here, it is always available for you. You need not, unless until you want to make some changes, you need not have to open this after the initial creation at all, right? So for today's demo, let's look at trading in futures of Nifty to begin with. So you give a name, Nifty, for example, FUT demo 20th December. It can be any name. Then you'll need to select an appropriate rule. There are 5 types of rules that we have defined. What are these rules? When to use it? I will get into some details when we look at a chart. It becomes easier to understand these rules based on the chart. Broadly, these are long only and short only, long plus short, and stop and reversal kind of requirement rules. Yeah. Right. So for the first demo, we'll be using Supertrend. I'm sure most of you would have used Supertrend or come across Supertrend. It's a very well-known strategy study which has been there for a long, long time. A lot of people keep using it, and for such kind of strategies, I'm again saying for such kind of strategies which are always in trade, like a super trend, which is either long or short, it is continuously in trade. So for such kind of requirements, use a rule called stop and reverse, and you'll need to define what is the segment you want to trade in. Suppose if it is futures, select the futures and option from here, and then in terms of trading symbol, just type out the first few letters, say for example Nifty. So and select the contract that you want to trade with from the drop down. So we'll select December future. Then order type can be normal or MIS. So by default it will be an RML carry forward. Price is always market, and define how many lots you want to trade. Suppose you want to trade 100 lots. You can select the number of lots by typing in there. It will show you the quantity in terms of the absolute number. So you know that for Nifty, the lot size is 75 and it translates to 7,500 quantity. And the freeze limit is 1,800. So we will split orders to ensure in multiple lots of 1,800 to fulfill the entire quantity that you're trying to trade. Right now, these are the basic requirement that one needs to define. It's again a one-time setup and that you need to do. You need not have to uh, uh, keep doing it always. Now, I suppose the video is okay. Somebody is saying that they're not able to see the screen. Is the screen visible? Okay, thanks. So in case if you're facing difficulty in terms of looking at the screen, I request you to kindly log out and log in. I think people are able to see the screen. Maybe some internet connectivity or some issue at your end. Kindly check and re-log in. You should be able to see the screen. Yes. There are others who are able to see the screen. Yes. Yeah. So request you to kindly re-log in again. Uh, in case if you have missed something in terms of this presentation, the recording will be available. You can have a look at it again later in the day. Yes. So these are some basic things that you need to define. And in case if your strategy itself is taking care of things like target and stop loss, you need not have to touch any of this portion here in the screen, like things like target or stop loss or TSL. You need not have to worry about these things. You need not have to do any changes. In case you would like to use our platform for setting targets and stop loss, you can do that using percentage points and M2M. You can define what is that you want to set in terms of targets and percentages. So post a position being taken, we'll keep monitoring for the target and stop loss that you would have set in the platform. And whenever those levels are hit, the position can get closed. Now, there are some more things like start time and end time and square of time. So in case you're trading for the entire day, you need not have to do any of the changes here. Yeah, M2M is mark to market. It is the for the day. What has been the price movement in terms of points or rupees? It's basically rupees. Yes, yes. Uh, M2M stands for mark to market. So when you're trading in say futures or an options, so you would like to know how much has been the profit or loss for the day for the particular day. For say Monday, when you're trading from the beginning till the end of the day, if you've taken a position, what has been your profit or loss at any given point in time, you'll be able to see that. Or if you're setting saying that you want to have a profit of 5,000 rupees for the day, you can set it as 5,000 rupees as a profit. So once the target of 5,000 rupees is achieved, the position will be closed off from our end. So it depends on the kind of setting that you need and that you would be doing it here in terms of percentage or points or M2M, which you define here. Based on that, we will try and close the positions taken. Yeah, when you are doing a watch list, then we would always recommend that use percentage rather than points, because the uh, price levels for each of the stocks would vary. So always use percentage and not in terms of either M2M or in terms of per, rupees as such, points as such. Because a 1 percentage point on, say, Reliance would be something different in terms of points, and it could be something different for, say, something like an S Bank. So we would always recommend that keep the percentage for watch list kind of. If you're using a watch list and you're trying to trade or invest into multiple stocks, and not go by the points or MTM. However, our new system would have a facility wherein you can define for each of the stock in terms of percentage points also. MTM and points also. Yeah. M2M is nothing but your in rupees. Say you can say that you don't want to make a loss of more than, say, 10,000 rupees. You can set that as stop loss as 10,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees, depending on your requirement. So if there's a loss of, say, 5,000 rupees, you want us to close the trade, we will do that. So, in case your strategy itself is taking care of target, stop loss, and other factors, you need not have to update any of these. And if you'd like to, say, limit the number of trades in a day, that you can set it up here. So you can say that maximum daily signal, by default it will be zero. That means all signals coming in will be processed, and the orders will be placed. And suppose you want to take, say, just say 5 trades in a day, you can set it as 5, or it could be 3, or it could be any amount. It could be 15 also. So you can set it to the based on your requirement as such. By default, it will be at 0. That means all signals will be processed. So once you update these details as a one-time activity, you can do the submission and it will be saved and it will be available for you always. So if you want to come back and make some changes, instead of 100 lots, you would like to make it 150 lots, and you can do that. And if you want to change over to, say, from NRML to MIS, you can do that. Any editing can be done at a later point in time. Yeah. Now, in terms of target, say you've taken M2M and you're trading in, say, Nifty futures. And as you know, that Nifty future, the quantity is 75. And if you are expecting the market to move in terms of your, if you are expecting the markets to move up, and you're sure that you can get about 100 points, which translates to 7,500 rupees. So per lot. So you can set the target value as 100. So it will take 100 rupees or 100 points. When you're trading in futures, it will be equivalent to 100 rupees into 75. So when it reaches, suppose you have taken a trade, for example, at 26,000 rupees in terms of Nifty future lot, and that's your average price, for example, at 26,000, and you set the value as 100 rupees. When the futures price moves to 26,100, your position will be closed. So you end up making a profit of 7,500. Sorry, that was in terms of points. So in terms of value, it will be 7,500. You can keep it as 5,000 also, depending on your requirement. So in terms of points is what I explained earlier, where you've taken at 26,000 and it has moved by 100 points. So at 26,100, it can get closed. When you're setting it as M to M, then you can say that I want a profit of say 10,000 rupees, for example. So irrespective of wherever whatever is your average price, we will keep looking at what is the profit you would have done for the day, and once it reaches a level of 10,000 rupees profit, we will close the position for you. Yeah, MTM is definitely a value. Yes. Yeah. So, in case your strategy is in TradingView or Amibroker is taking care of these things, so you need not have to update any of these other details. So, you can save these. Uh, so, once you have updated, by default, it will be available in your. It will be set as inactive state. You will need to either do a paper enable for paper trade or live trade. Suppose you want to do live trade, then you need to enable this. Otherwise, uh, if you want to test it out, always start with paper trade and see how the orders are getting executed, and then place orders. Once the orders are going through as per your requirement, you can shift over to paper trade. So these will be whatever strategies that you define here will always be available, um, unless until you want to delete them or you want to close them. So suppose you have created a strategy and you don't want to use that because the requirements have changed, you can always delete it. Otherwise, we will always store it for you. So when you log in the morning, so do that login around as close to market open hours as possible. So don't do it say at 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning. Always do after do the login after 8:30, 8:45 kind of thing time, so that we would have the fresh tokens received from the brokers for the day, and all signals will get processed. If you do it early, then the tokens that we receive for your account from the broker, respective broker, would be different, and the signals that come from your charts will get ignored. So don't try to log in pretty early. Do it close to market hours. So once you log in, come to this My Strategies page and enable for paper trade or live trade. Otherwise, by default, it will be inactive. If you don't enable it, then again the signals will not be processed. Sorry. Yeah, you can refer to the API section. It will give you the details in terms of the what is the JSON to be used. If you look at API, so so if you're trying to place an order for say if it is a buy order or a small sell order, you can look at those. What are the JSON to be used? It is all given here. Yeah, that's right. Every day you will need to enable the live trade or paper trade as such. Yes. So you can refer to our documentation page from here. Uh, Go to API section and then it will open up this page for you and look at various JSON that you need for various kind of orders, say cancel order or modify order, those kind of things. Yes. Coming back here, so once you log in the morning, after that you can close this browser or close your computer or shut down your system. Not an issue. Any signals coming in will be handled by Algomojo at the backend. So you need not have to worry if the internet is down, or you need not be keeping your system on throughout the day, or you need not be sitting in front of your computer every day throughout the day. Just enable it and we will take care of it. Only thing that you should not do is you should not go here and say log out. If you do a log out, then the signals coming in from your charting tool will again get ignored and no orders will be processed. But otherwise, after you log in the morning, you can close your system, close this browser, and still the orders will get executed whenever the signals are received. Right. So once you define what is that you want to trade, like what we did now, wherein we have said that we want to trade in Nifty futures, 100 lots, and then the order type is NRML for delivery based. This is all that we need to do as a one-time activity in Algomojo. The next step is to go to, say, charting tool like TradingView and do the other setup. So let's look at TradingView and see how do we do the setup. So for today's demo, I'll be using the crypto chart because those markets are on Saturdays also, as you are aware, just to get the signals for testing purpose, not that you can trade in cryptos, just to get a live price and live signal in a chart. Will be using the crypto chart at TradingView. Yeah. This is a crypto chart. And first, always select the symbol, whether it is Nifty, Bank Nifty, or it could be any stock reliance or ABB, whatever stock type that you are trying to automate your strategy. Right. So that's right. So once you set a profit or a stop loss, your strategy will be your position will be closed. Suppose you have a new signal coming in, it can still get processed. Suppose you have had a day where you've taken, say, three trades and all of them have been profitable. You don't want the fifth trade to be you don't want to overtrade, then either you can switch off the system or pause the system. You go to Algomojo here and say switch it off, make it inactive, then no new signals will be processed. Yeah. See, either you say that, okay, I don't want to take any further trades, or you can say that I want to take only five trades. So, number of signals or number of trades that you want to take, that can be defined also. So, you can say that, okay, I want to take, say, maximum daily signals of three. So, three trades will be taken for you. And after that, whether it is profitable or not, three trades will be taken. And after that, the system will shut it off. It will not take any new trades. Right. So, okay. So once you enable paper trade, it's there for you. So let's look at how do we, what are the steps involved in TradingView. So here, load your stock, a symbol that you want to trade, and select the time frame. So we'll look at a 1 minute time frame so that we get more signals. And once you select the symbol and the time frame, load your strategy. You can bring in any strategy that you would have as long as it is giving buy sell signals. We'll be able to automate it. So for today's demo, we'll use Super Trend. I've just loaded that. Let me make it visible. So this is Super Trend. So as you are aware, Super Trend is always in trade, either long or short. So for such kind of strategies, we will be using the rule called stop and reverse. Yeah. So once you load this strategy, go to this strategy name, look at this three dots, the more button, click on that and say add alert. When you are adding an alert, there's a pop-up box. Go to this message section, and by default, whatever is there, select that, remove that, and then from Algomojo, from the strategy that you created, go down here, go down here, go to this trading views, and in under trading view you have the strategy tab, and there is a code or JSON. Just copy that and paste it here. right? And give a name. It can be something like NF demo 20th December, for example. And go to notification section, and by default, whatever is the webhook URL, remove that. Take the webhook URL from Algomojo, from the same strategy that you just created. Go to this section called webhook URL, or this area, copy that and paste it here. Right. So these are the only two copy paste that you need to do. The message box has to be updated with the JSON or the code that we have provided, and in the notification, just update the webhook URL. Once you do these two things, do these two copy paste, say create. So the strategy or the alert will get created and it will be visible for you. As you can see, it is visible. So whenever there's a buy signal or sell signal coming in, it will be transmitted to Algomojo, and we will in turn send it to your broker for execution. Right. So this is how these are the only steps that are involved. So you can get any strategy as long as it is giving buy and sell signal. This is the process to be used. So all you have to do is select the symbol that you want to trade, the time frame in which you want to trade, and load the strategy that you are wanting to automate. And once you load it, go to this more button and say add alert. In the add alert pop-up, go to the message section. Whatever is by default content of the message, remove that, take it from Algomojo and paste it here. Give a name, it can be any name, right? And under the notification, update the webhook URL with whatever webhook URL provided for your strategy from Algomojo. Just copy this and paste it there. And paste it here. And say create. That's it. There's no other step involved in terms of uh, uh, automation as such. Yes. Any doubts? Anything? Clarification on this? So once you create this, it is always visible for you uh, in TradingView. It is always available for you unless until you stop it or you can delete it. Yes, the recording will be available towards the second half. After this session gets over, it will get processed and it will be made available to all the participants. You can go through it again. So either suppose you have taken some strategy, you have subscribed to some strategy available on TradingView, and it is giving you buy sell signal, and you want to automate those. This is the step involved. These are the steps involved in terms of automation. That's it. So we will not even look into what is the code of the super trend or whatever strategy that you're trying to run, and make any changes or make any modifications there in that code. Nothing of that sort. It is just the requirement of alert creation, and again, it is a one-time activity. After that, it's available for you. Yes. Yeah. Now, when we get this signal here, either for sell or buy, buy is already running. Suppose you feel that, okay, the trade has been initiated and you expect the trade to continue further, the long trade to continue further, and you would like to enter this trade, and after that you want to leave it for the chart or the strategy to take care of the exit or further orders. What you can do is, after you create this alert, go to Algomojo here, right? And for example, you want to take a paper trade, you can initiate that trade from here. Go to this section called generate signal and say buy. So you've taken this buy signal manually, and after that, any signal coming in from the chart will be handled automatically. So the buy signal that we just generated, you can look at that from under this section called my signals. go to my signals, and you can see here, this is the 20th demo, December demo for Nifty future. And we have initiated a buy manually, and you can see these are the orders that are placed because the quantity was larger, multiple orders have been placed, and this is the position which is open. As you can see, this is the position which is open, 7,500 quantity, and it is in paper trade. You will see this a P on the right hand side, which indicates paper trade. So if the trading view gives a sell signal, so this long position will get closed and a short position will be taken automatically. So this is how you can take a manual trade also. Suppose you don't want to trade any take refer to any tools, but you want to create a template like this, say a template like this, wherein you would have defined what are the things that you want to trade, those kind of things. You can still manage it from here for entering the trade, either buy or sell or cover or square off. All that can be done manually also. So whether profitable or not profitable, it is dependent on not on Algomojo. It is dependent on your strategy here. If you have a strategy which can handle the trends or sideways markets, then um, the results would depend on what is that you're trying to run in TradingView or such kind of tools, where it is taking the entry and exits based on whatever logic that you would have defined. Now, there are traders who like the sideways markets, especially. These are traders typically who write options. So they know that okay, the market is going to be in a broad range, and in those broader range, they either they sell the options, either put or call, and they tend to make profits in such kind of environments. Otherwise, trending markets is where uh, depending on your kind of study that you or strategy that you're using, the profitability would depend on those studies and strategies that you're trying to run. Yeah. Any other queries? Any other anything else anybody would have in terms of? Yeah, I was trying to say the kind of rules which are there. See, super trend is always in trade, either long or short, as I was mentioning. Now, for such kind of trades, we recommend you use the rule called stop and reverse, which is the fifth rule. Now, suppose you're a trader and you feel that the market is going to trend from here, it is going to go up only. You don't want to take any short trades, you want to take only long trades. Then what you can do is select a rule called long only, which is the first one. Which what it will do is it will take only the buy signals. So when a buy signal is generated, it will take a long entry, and when a sell is generated, it will close the long entry and not take the short entry. Right. So it will take only buy here and close it here, again buy here and close it here, again buy here and close it here. So it will not take any of the short trades as such. Now, when you feel that the market are going to trend down or it is going to move down only, and you want to take the short trades only and not the long trades, then you use the rule called short only. So it will take only short trades and not the long trades. Or if you're a trader, you would like to take both the trades, the long and short, then use the third rule, which is the long plus short, buy sell. Now, for trading view kind of tools, the long plus short, buy sell is the rule that is recommended. And then there are strategies in Amibroker which support short and cover also. So for those kind of situations, use the fourth rule, buy sell, long plus short, buy sell, short cover. but otherwise the functioning would be similar in terms of the third and fourth rule. And if your strategy is always like this in trade, then use stop and reverse. Now, suppose you have 10 symbols. Um, Yeah, suppose you have 10 symbols and you want to place orders based on, say, you're using, say, something like charting, or in trading view, you have a watch list and you applied, say, super trend on that watch list. And it has given you 10 symbols to be executed immediately. So those 10 signals would reach Algomojo in a particular sequence, and we will process the orders in a similar sequence of what we receive from, say, TradingView or from charting or from Amibroker. So if, say, Reliance and HDFC and Yes Bank and ABB, so the orders come in that sequence, we will process the orders in the same sequence and send it to the broker for placing orders in those stocks. So you will find that there could be hardly any delays in terms of uh, order execution from Algomojo and as such. Yeah. Now, how to trade in options? For example, let us look at how to trade. We saw an example of as to how do we trade in options. Sorry, futures. Suppose you want to trade in options. How do we do that? Let's take another example. So we'll create one more strategy called, say, options demo, and select a similar kind of rule. I'll say stop and reverse. And segment, we will see it as dynamic symbols, dynamic options. And here we will say Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty, and expiry will be, say, for example, current month, and strike will say ITM 5, for example. I want to trade in ITM 5 always whenever there's a signal coming in, and I want to trade again in 100 lots, which will translate to 3,100 quantity. So once I define these things and save it here, once I submit it here, there'll be a webhook URL that will be created, and there'll be a JSON that will be created. So we will create one more strategy. Yeah, while we were looking at it, we got a sell signal. So let us look at what has happened to that sell signal. As you can see, there's an alert which is created for sell. So let us look at what has happened to that sell signal. So here, so this was set for paper trade. So as you can see, sell has come at 11:16 a.m. and the order has been placed for the long portion has been changed and a short portion is taken now. So it will keep running for you. So you need not have to do anything unless until if there's some change in quantity or such kind of things that you want to make. Otherwise, you create your strategy and turn it on every day in the morning. And whenever there's a signal coming in for long or short, it will keep running for you. Yeah. So we were trying to see how do we do the setup for Bank Nifty, for example. So we were setting it up here, and we'll enable for paper trade. And suppose what the if you look at the setting here, what we have said is if there's a long trade coming in, then we want to take a CE, which is ITM 5. And when a short trade is coming in, we want the CE to be closed and a PE to be taken, which is again ITM 5 PE. So that is what we have defined here. And whenever the signals come in, the similar kind of thing will work out. So let's set up one more alert, for example, in the same super trend for the same Bitcoin example that we're talking about. Go to message box, and under this, whatever is by default, remove those values and copy those values. Copy this JSON from the Bank Nifty strategy that we just created, Copy this JSON and paste it here. Say, give a name, options trades, and update the webhook URL. We'll change this webhook URL and use the webhook URL created for the strategy of options. Copy this and paste it here. Right, give a name and then say create. So there's a alert which has been created for trading in options. So we see that there's one cell which is already running. So let us take that. Say we want to take this trade, and after that, leave it to the system to handle the PE automatically. So what we'll do is here go to Algomojo and generate that signal manually here. Go here and say sell. When we do the sell signal, or we have taken the sell order, then as you can see here, options demo, we have generated a sell signal, and the order for P has been, let me select that strategy, options demo. Now the PE has been taken, and in terms of position, you can see that 3,500 quantity of Bank Nifty PE has been taken. 60,700, which is the ITM 5 PE, has been taken. Now, the short trade is running. So, if the short trade converts to a long trade, then the PE taken will be closed and the CE will be taken. So, it will keep running. So, it will when a long comes in, the CE will be PE will be closed and the CE will be taken. And when a short comes in, the CE taken will be closed and a PE will be taken. It will keep running for you. So these alert creation and the strategy creation are one-time activities that you have to define. After that, the system can keep running for you. Yeah, that is what we just did. We did a manual entry, and then after that, we want the system to take care of the next trade. So the cell is running. So this, say, for example, converts to a long signal now after some time. So the P taken will be closed and the C will be taken. So you can enter a trade manually, and after that, you can leave it to the system to be handled. Yes. So now we have taken a C, take a P. When the buy comes, the P will be closed and C will be taken automatically. Yeah, option selection based on premium is currently not available. It has to be either in terms of the ITM, OTM, up to 20 strikes, you will need to say whether it is ITM 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you are trying to trade, you will need to select it on that front. In case if you are trying to take top five gainers or top five losers to take the trades, then you will need to run that strategy as a strategy in your charting tool. It can be charting, or it could be TradingView or Amibroker, which will keep scanning for the top five gainers and whatever time frame that you're looking at. And if once it identifies those top five gainers or losers, it will take a send a long signal or a short signal for those stocks to Algomojo, and we will send it to the brokers to take a long entry or a short entry. But it has to be programmed in your code in TradingView or charting. You will need to have a screener or a strategy running on a set of watch list, which will identify the top gainers and top losers, whether it is in terms of value, in terms of volume, it could be percentage, whatever you're looking at. You will need to define that those kind of rules in your charts, and once your chart identifies these stocks, the top gainers or losers, it will send for order execution to us. Yeah. See, when you're wanting to trade in options, the rule is not the important. The rule is relevant to the way your chart is structured. So, whether you want to trade in futures or options, that has to be defined under this. For example, let's look at anyone here. Segment, whether you, if you want to trade in futures, then use futures and option. If you want to trade in options, then you use this option, the third option called options dynamic. So, and then select whether it is nifty or bank nifty, or it could be gold, it could be any stock related thing option that you're trying to trade. So, rule is more to do with the way your strategy is running or structured, whether it is always in trade, or you want to take only long trades, or you want to take only short trades, those kind of things. But whether to trade in futures or option, you will need to decide based on yeah, segment. If you want to trade in CE and PE, then use this third option called options in the segment. If it is equity, you can use equity, futures and option, and third one is options dynamic symbol. Any doubts? Any? See, the way the copy trading facility is enabled, structured is slightly different. See, what you're doing here is, suppose you are the strategy provider and you have a good strategy in TradingView, and you are getting the signals from TradingView for entry and exit of the trades. So, what you can do is, for the master or the parent strategy which you create here, you will need to use the webhook URL of this strategy. You are the strategy provider, or you are the signal provider. You have to use the webhook URL and run that in the trading view, right? We'll create the alerts here. So once these alerts are created and the signals are getting generated, that will come and that will be transmitted to your account. For example, here in this case, and the orders will be placed into your account. And suppose you have followers or your child accounts, then you will need to add them here. You can say publish the signal, for example, and use this disclaimer, and whoever you want to add, you will need to add them under this section. So once you add them, and for example you added me into follow your trades, I will log into my account and I'll be able to see these that you have sent me a request. So I need to follow that. Once I follow that, I need not have to create another strategy as such. So it will be visible for me, and once I accept it, and any signal coming into your account, the same orders will get placed onto my account also. Provided I am also trading in similar quantity. Suppose you are trading in 100 lots, and I want to trade in say 10 lots. I can redefine that. I can have change those settings in my system. So when that strategy is made visible in my system, it also has an option to edit, wherein I can say that okay, instead of 100 lots, I'll trade in say 10 lots or 50 lots as per my capital and risk management thing that I have. So I can make those smaller modifications, but I did not have to create anything in the trading view, because the parent or the person who's providing the strategy, only he has to create. He has to have the subscription for trading view. He has a strategy in trading view, and he is running it there continuously. And whoever is following the parent account will get the signals to enter and exit, either a buy or a sell. And once he is added as a follower by the parent, his orders will also get executed. Yeah. See, unfortunately, what is the expectation is that um, the signals are shared with the friends and relatives or the family members, right? So it is that requirement is that, or even the exchanges say that whoever is trading has to be aware that he is trading. So, and whatever he is trading. So, if we give those rights to you, then it is sort of violating that requirement of regulation, which says that the trader should be aware of what he is trading. Suppose you are managing somebody else's account and he doesn't know that you are trading, say, 50 lots or in Bank Nifty, then it could be a violation. So that is the reason we have not enabled such kind of facility in our system, but um, and left it to the users to see how they want to manage it. Now, there are some people who manage both the accounts. They log in say, into parent account, and they will use another browser and log into their friend's account. And whatever changes need to be done, they make the changes, and the complete control is with them. That's how people are managing. But um, as a service provider, we are not supposed to. If we do that, it becomes a violation of regulation. So we are not able to extend that. See, signals will get processed in a similar fashion as to what is getting done from trading. You see, the signal is coming to your account, the parent account, and the parent is in turn sending it to child account. Instead of the child account receiving the signal from trading view, it is coming from you. So it is happening within the Algomojo environment. So from parent, it is going to child, and from child, it is going to broker. So in terms of execution speed, you will not find much of a difference unless until you have many a users, many a child accounts. Then it will run sequentially. So you could find a bit of a delay in terms of if there are say 10 users or 5 users. For the first user and this last user, there could be millisecond delays, but millisecond also translates into price movements. If it is a volatile segment like a Nifty or a Bank Nifty, then yes, you will notice that the price of entry and exit are not the same for the first child account and the say 10th child account. It will be different. Yeah, in terms of adding child account, you can add up to 10. You can, as you can see, recommended maximum followers is 10. Suppose you have more than 10, then create two strategies. Say here we are, say if you go to my strategies, you created one here for say options demo and create one more for options demo 2. So you can have 10 accounts here and options demo 2 can have maybe 10 accounts. So, but you can run it on the same strategy in TradingView. You need to create one alert for options traders and another one for options 2 traders. So this will trigger for first 10 accounts. The second one will trigger for the next 10 accounts. True, parent can be in paper mode. So trades will happen as paper trade, and for child account, it can be paper trade or live trade depending on how they want to use it. Yeah, I see a couple of things. One, in terms of the algo regulation, which is under huge discussion for a very, very long time. Uh, See, when you say algo trading, it per se means it, the way the exchange looks at it as an algo is a trading system, complete trading system, which has an entry and an exit, and uh, there's a profit and loss which is involved in running that strategy, and the exchange expects um, measures to be taken to ensure that people don't end up losing too much of money. There are various factors which are defined by the exchanges in terms of the algo as such. Whereas when it comes to Algomojo, what we have discussed with the exchanges also, we are not an algo platform. We are a bridge, so to say. We strategy is with you. and order is getting placed with the broker. We are just transmitting the signal from your chart or your strategy to your broker account. So we are not running any strategy which promises certain amount of profit or loss for the users in our platform. So that rule of algo trading actually does not apply to us, because we are not an algo provider. We are a bridge provider. Though we call ourselves as a Algomojo, we are not providing any strategy in our platform. If you see, the strategy is brought by you, and you are running your strategy in TradingView, in charting, in Amibroker, whatever environment that you are looking at for entry and exit of trades or investments. Algomojo is not providing those. It is your study, your back testing or forward testing, what you have done, your ideas, your thought processes that you have got it coded, and you are trying to execute those orders more efficiently using Algomojo. Otherwise, you would have to look at his chart, then go punch in those orders manually into your account or your child account or other accounts. And there's a time delay. You should be monitoring those trades for signals. And whenever there's a signal coming in, you have to go and take reverse or close those orders, kind of stuff. Whereas the entire process of managing that signal is handled by Algomojo as a bridge provider. That's right. You need to have a subscription for TradingView. For otherwise, the free version doesn't support the webhook URL. You need to have a subscription. Yeah. Another requirement in terms of the regulation is that the it is still not gone live. It was supposed to have gone live in August itself, but it got deferred twice, and they are looking at complete implementation next year in terms of static IP. So regulation says that whoever is running an algo or API for order placement, those orders should be executed from a static API. Now, as a bridge provider, we are completely ready in terms of offering the static IPs for all our users. So, whenever that is becoming mandatory, you will get to subscribe to those IPs, and you'll get those static IPs, and any orders getting placed will go from your designated static IPs. Yeah, so static IP is more from the perspective of the users trying to execute orders using APIs. Whether mostly expectation is that it is running from a strategy, say in TradingView or any environment which gives buy or sell signal. It could be Python, it could be anything. There's a trading logic, and that is generating an entry and exit, and the orders is getting executed using APIs. So, as a service provider, we have hosted our services in data centers, and the static IPs are provided by the data center internet provider. So, all data centers provide internet IPs, internet services, and they give both static and dynamic IPs. Static IPs do come at a cost. So, whenever it becomes mandatory, all users will need to necessarily take that static IP subscription. What is the cost of that? We are still to finalize. Once it is rolled out, it will be known in terms of cost. Yeah, see, thing is, the JSON typically is, defines what is that you're trying to trade. You can paste it here in TradingView, and if you're able to, of course, what we saw here when it comes to this JSON was a simple JSON format, whereas the rest of the details are contained in the webhook URL in terms of who is the broker, what is the client, what is the strategy of the client. All that is defined mostly in the webhook URL. In case if you are trying to run that entire JSON, maybe you will need to define not just the buy sell, you will need to define the rest of the factors also from here. So if you are into coding and you have certain logic for sending orders, you can define those here. Yeah, while we were looking at it, we've seen that there's a sell order P which we had taken. Now there's a buy signal which has got generated. Let us look at what has happened to this order. So if you go to my signals and the signals, if you see the thing here, there was a buy signal which came at 11:34. You can see that the PE orders have been closed and CE orders have been taken. So PE portion is closed here. PE has been closed and CE is running. So it will keep running for you. So it will keep running for you. So it will, based on a long signal or a short signal, the CE and PE will keep running. And if you have selected dynamic option, depending on what is the spot price at that point in time, that entry will be taken. Suppose you are talking about ITM 5, then at that point in time, whenever the signal is coming, we will look at what is the spot price, and based on that, we will look at what is the ITM 5 strike price and accordingly place orders. See, we as a service, we provide coding support too. In case if you have certain ideas that you want it to be coded either in TradingView or in Amibroker, we can assist you in terms of providing the code. It would come at a cost, and the cost would depend on the complexity of the requirement. Whether you want it in Amibroker and what are the conditions, those kind of things. See, in terms of Pine script, you can look at an trading view itself. If you look at super trend, if you want to see what is the code, all you have to do is just go here and look at the source code. It will give you details of the entire Pine script here. All that code will be shown here itself. Or if you want, if you're specific, you are looking at certain codes, then we have hosted certain codes for some of the popular stuff, strategies like a super trend, a half trend, alpha trend, which are freely available. If you Google also, you will get it. So same thing, we have hosted it here in case if you would like to look at those, you can try it out here. Go to my strategies, go to strategies tab, then go to trading view tab. Then these are some popular freely available strategies. So you go to super trend, and if you like to look at what is the code, it will give you the entire code. Yeah, these are freeware. If you Google, you'll be able to get it also. So some of them we have hosted it here. That's it. The cost of coding is dependent on it is not a standard price, because each requirement would depend on the user's expectations in terms of how they what are the conditions to be considered, whether it is multi-time frame, whether it is using multiple indicators or a simple strategy. Based on the kind of client's requirements, we will look at what is the effort involved, and based on that, we come back and tell you this is the cost and what is the time frame involved. And if you're okay with it, we can take it up for coding further. So I request you to kindly send your requirements by email. I'll share my email to you towards the end of the session, and you can mail it to me. We will get it checked and come back and tell you. Yes. See, SEBI only says that the orders have to come from static IP. The static IP is provided by data centers. So each provider like us would take the IPs from the data center, and those costs will be passed on to the users. So that will be an additional cost which the users will need to incur. In case if you have a free account with Algomojo, then static IP will not be bundled. It will need to be taken as a subscription, because it is a third party solution that we are giving. We are taking it from the data centers, and we have to give it. There's a cost that they're charging. We'll not be able to absorb that cost because of the regulatory requirement. We have to implement that and then charge the users whatever is the actual cost being levied to us. by the data centers. Right. So like you can bring in any strategy, you can bring in any indicator, and you can bring in any studies, and then you can automate your order. Suppose you want to trade based on a trend line, also you can do a trend line, something like this, draw a trend line, and if there's a breakdown, if you want to take a PE order or you want to take a short position, that's also possible. Simple method: put in your drawing, right click on that, and say add alert on the trend line, for example. Here we'll say if the price is crossing down, then I want an order to be taken, and in the message box, instead we'll need to put in the message that it has to be a sell, so that we take it from Algomojo here. We go to my strategies, pick up this JSON or pick up this code from the from Algomojo platform. Go here under the indicator section. You have this cell code. Paste it here. That's it. So when there's a breakdown of this trend line, the sell order will get triggered and short position can be taken. So it can be trend line, it can be a support resistance. Suppose you have drawn a resistance and support line, for example. Say you call this as a resistance, and you draw one more line which is a support, say for example here. When the price drops below this support level and starts coming up, saying that okay, it has taken support here, I want to take a long entry. Similarly, you just have your support drawn here, right click on that line and say add alert on the support line, and say that if the price is going to cross up, I want, and the price closes above that level, I want a long to be taken. So all you have to do is put in the same code here. Instead of action buy, you can sell, you can say buy and save it. So if the price goes below this level and starts coming up, saying that okay, it is taking good support here, you want an entry to be taken, so it will trigger a buy order. So you can have any kind of drawing. It could be trend line, it could be um, we have seen people using um, things like Fibonacci or whatever studies that they want to use. And when a particular level is getting crossed or hit, they want an entry or exit with signal. All that can be done on the chart itself. Yeah, short and cover is mostly used in Amibroker rather than in TradingView. There are some people who use short and cover in TradingView also, but normally what we have seen is buy and sell. See, I'm not, let me understand this. There's a query. Can we configure how many API broker execution errors before strategy stop? Where to see output of those API errors? Whenever there's an error coming in, for example, here in Algomojo, when a signal is received, say for example, my signals, when we have a signal received, it you'll if it is not if there's a rejection, you will be able to see that okay, it is rejected, and when you hover the cursor on that, it will tell you the reason for rejection also. Suppose there's a mismatch in the quantity. You're trying to trade 70 quantity instead of 75 quantity in Nifty, for example. It will say that mismatch in quantity, so order rejected. Or if there's no funds, shortage of funds, you can say that RMS margin shortfall by so much amount. So whatever is the API response for rejection we get from broker for orders that have been sent across will be highlighted and here. And you can get a dump of all the signals, all the orders here by using this download button. You can get a download and save it for your usage. Yeah, we are trying to show similar thing here. Instead of signal, in signal we say what is the time it was received, whether it is buy or sell. If you go to the order section, it will give you details like what time did the order come in, what was the price, what is the quantity. All those details are provided here under the order details. Yes. Now, sometimes you would find when you're logging in to Algomojo, it will ask you a query. There's a please do reconcile. Um, there is a difference when it finds a difference in the quantity. For example, you are trading in say Nifty call. For example, in the Bank Nifty options, okay, call option. Okay, you have 3,500 quantity, for example. For whatever reason, you have closed say 500 quantity manually in your broker account. So your broker account is showing 3,000 quantity, for example, and here it is showing 3,500. So when we find there's a difference in what is there in broker account and in our portion page, then we give you a message saying that please reconcile. Now, if you it was deliberate that you have or you don't want to make any changes, you can ignore that and then proceed with it. However, if you want, when you find that difference and you've done something manually, it will have an effect on the next trade. Suppose you have closed 500 quantity, and when the next trade comes for closure of the CE and taking PE, we will try and close 3,500 quantity instead of 3,000 because only in our system it's showing 3,500, whereas broker has only 3,000 quantity. So we will be trying to send order to close 3,500, but broker would have closed 3,000 quantity and would have taken a short of CE also if there is funds. So there will be a mismatch. So to avoid that, if you see that there's a difference in what you see in broker page and in Algomojo when you're getting that message, please come here and do an adjust. Go to this adjust button. So whichever quantity or position that you're finding that reconciliation, just go and do an adjust and change that quantity here manually and bring it to the same level as what is there in the broker account. So if the broker account has got 3,000, make it 3,000. So it will get updated and you will not have any errors when the new order signal is coming in and the order getting placed. Yeah, somebody was asking about concurrent signal. Now, there is something called in my strategies, if you look at under this section, you have maximum concurrent entries. Now, we have seen some strategies or some uh, situations like in Amibroker or even in TradingView also, especially in Amibroker kind of environment where you have repainting happening of the same signal. If the code is not handled properly, the Amibroker will keep sending say buy signal continuously. It should have been one buy signal. Instead of that, say 10 buy signals will come or 20 buy signals will come continuously because the coding is not done properly in Broker. We call that a repainting issue. To help those kind of situations, we have given a facility called maximum concurrent entries. Suppose you say it is one, then if there's a buy coming in, it will take the first buy only. If there's a because of repainting, if multiple buys come, we'll take the first buy and then wait for the next sell signal to happen. We'll ignore all the other buy signals coming in. So that is one. Now there are trading view strategies available, some strategies available where it will give you multiple entries of the same signal, buy, and then a sell could come, or it could be that sell, and then a buy could come. So in to facilitate those kind of strategies or requirements, we have given this detail called maximum concurrent entries. Maximum concurrent entries means that the same kind of signal, whether it is buy or a sell or a short or a cover, how many of those need to be processed concurrently? Should it be one? Should it be three? Or should it be five? After that, we have to ignore. So it is we are given flexibility to define that. Suppose if you see that there's a issue in your Amibroker and it is repainting, please set it to one so that repainting issue of Amibroker can be handled here. Yeah. See, Algomojo is a separate entity now. It has been a separate entity for some time now, a couple of years, I would say. They were associated with the market calls also earlier. I think both of them parted ways and they have gone in their own directions. So they're pretty independent of each other. So we are not able to collaborate with market calls. So that is the reason you would find that Algomojo would not be published there or market calls is not supported in our system as such. True. We do understand market call has been there for a. They have a lot of video YouTube's subscribers and YouTube videos as such. Yes, they are in a different environment. Our business model is completely different, and I don't think they'll are in a position to collaborate with each other. Yeah, true. Open Algo is what they have built in. Yes. Yeah, we keep updating with new features. It's taken a bit of time because we believe in a thorough testing and robustness of the system. So it takes a bit of time. We are waiting for a new release to happen, which could add much more value to the users, and we keep our eyes and ears open. We are pretty open to customer feedbacks, and we keep listening to our customers, taking feedbacks from them, looking at the requests for new additions in terms of facilities and features, and we try and build them into our platform. We keep improving it, and we have still a long way to go. We're still pretty. We feel that we're still new in this system, and a lot more things can be done, and we are working towards that. Yes. See, we are not into providing strategies. We expect clients to get their own strategies. It could be range, filter, or anything. It could be any strategy in Amibroker. It could be anything in charting or MT4, any environment. We have given that flexibility to the users to bring in any strategy, any study, but we are there to help them to automate those strategies or signals. We want to be in that space because we don't want to get into strategies which would involve things like P&L assurance, all that. We don't want to be in that kind of business. So hence, you will not find we promoting any strategies as such. And again, we are not qualified. For us to enable any strategies to be provided, we have to be an advisories provider. We have to have some SEBI clearances. We are not into that space. Yes. True. Charting and trading view gives a lot of strategies. We have left it to the discretion of the users to have that flexibility to make that study and see what system suits them, what is more profitable to them, what is meeting their uh, criteria in terms of risk management and profitability, and various other parameters when it comes to assessing the suitability of a strategy. We have left it to the discretion of the users, and we are trying to focus to see how we can value add in terms of transmitting those signals into orders more efficiently, and also see how we can add on certain other features which could help traders to be more profitable. That's where we are, and I think that's the space we will move into also. Yes, but not into creation of strategies as such. I don't think that is our strength at all. Right. So going forward, what we are also working is in terms of the advisory providers to host them in our systems uh, based on their SEBI clearances or the exchange clearances. If they're qualified and their strategies are approved, maybe you will find those strategies being available in our platform also. We would have those kind of facilities built in. But again, not an immediate feature, but that's as a thought process is available for in our designs as such of the platform. Uh, Let me just check. Yeah, in terms of Algomojo support, we are available from 9 to 5 on all working days, exchange working days. On Saturdays from 10 to 5. You can contact us through WhatsApp, 8105572233, or give us a call, 8550 or raise a ticket. And or send an email. These are various methods of contacting us. We're there to help you out. We are there to support you in terms of your investment and trading activities. Now, when it comes to coding, you can send me an email. My email ID is lokesh@infolab.com. We could please let us know your complete requirement in terms of exits and entries and whatever conditions that needs to be considered for building a strategy either in TradingView or Amibroker, and then we can let you know in terms of what will be the cost and what will be the timeline as such. Thanks. See, we don't have a we there's no separate user manual that we have created. What we have done is we have if you go to this API section, it works like a user reference manual for you. Suppose you want to do an AP, login for a particular broker, depending on which broker you want to log in, it will give you a detailed write-up. For example, you want to see how to do a trade setup for Zeroda, it will give you a small video and steps involved in terms of the process for setting up Zeroda APIs and then how to integrate into our Algomojo. So all that can be seen from here. If it is say up stock, what is the process of doing that? So this would act as a this section would act as a user guide or user manual as such. Kindly refer to this section. If you go to Algomojo here on the tab left side here, you can see the strategies or modules, or go click on this API. It will give you various tabs. Refer to these for your kind of requirement. If you're a Python coder, you can look at our library here and refer to this library for various uh, JSON requirements. You can just copy paste them into your Python programs and start using them. Thanks a lot, and see, we are working with quite a lot of brokers still. Some brokers have given facility where we they share the brokerage with us, which helps us to give our services free of cost. And not all brokers do that. So we have currently tied with 7 brokers who who help us to provide our APIs free of cost to the users. Other brokers have not done that. So we keep adding new brokers, And if we have a similar kind of arrangements done, then yes, our services could come free of cost for the users. Yes. We will look at Navia and Stockart, Blink. We have not worked with them so far. We will check with them, sir. Yes. Thanks for your feedback. Account opening, if you open an account using Algomojo as a referral, for example, you open a new account with any of these seven brokers: Allies Blue, Dun, First Stop, Fires, Goodwill, Upstock, Zebu, or Zerodha. You will get Algomojo's APIs free of cost for life. So otherwise, if it is other brokers, then there's a subscription involved. For example, if you want to use something like TradeGenie kind of broker, then after the 7 days trial, it will work out to say 1,000, 3,600, 6,000 rupees as the subscription charge. So on a yearly basis, it works to 500 rupees, which is we have tried to keep it as competitive or as low as possible. Yes. Yeah. So if you click on this, open an account and select this broker. These are the seven brokers with whom you can get free of cost APIs of Algomojo if you open a new account. Use this tab. So enter your name, email ID, phone number, and select this broker. Suppose you want to do it in say 5 years. After adding these details, you do a submit. It will take you to Fire's web page and ask you to complete the process of account opening. And once they do that and give you the credentials, you will need to come back and tell us that you opened account with us, with Algomojo as a referral. Then you will get Fire's account free of cost for usage in our platform. Great. If there are no other queries, we can try and conclude the session. No, from placement of orders from say WhatsApp or Telegram kind of app or Slack kind of app. No, we have not. There are no plans as of now to integrate into such platforms for placement of orders. Yeah, a recording of the session will be possible. You will be able to get those links towards the second half of the day. Thanks again. Uh, no other queries. We'll try and conclude the session. We normally have this session on almost every Saturday. Next Saturday is not planned, so maybe week after that we will have a similar kind of session. In case if you'd like to see anything specific, you'd like to understand anything specific, if you could wait till then, you could do that. Otherwise, you can contact us through any of these support details that I shared. We'll be happy to assist you. Thanks a lot, and have a nice weekend.